All right, ladies and gentlemen, I started a new or an additional YouTube channel, and you can find it at ANDREWMASTERS IRL on YouTube. You can go over there and hit the red subscribe button and check that out. I'm going to be doing longer format, just totally random stuff. So if you have any interest in like podcasty type, just total randomness, go check it out at ANDREWMASTERS IRL on YouTube. Subscribe. That's all you can do. There's no videos yet. I'm going to be uploading a bunch of totally random stuff that is different from this channel. So if you have any interest in that, ANDREWMASTERS IRL. How many times do I have to say it? 3? Did I say it 3 times? Okay. Back to your regular scheduled Sorry, this is so stupid. Anyway. Okay, so if you're anything like me, then you probably spend a questionable amount of time in your studio. I personally love making music. I love helping others make their music, and I also love sharing the experience with others through video and other means. You know, it's funny, I learn such a stupid amount of information from other people who share their problems that they have and how they overcome them. So to me, it's only fair that I share as much helpful information about the problems that I have to overcome, the things I'm working on, and other things that I think are interesting with other people as well. Over the past few years, watching other creators, I've been especially inspired by those who share useful solutions to problems that I have, but also have an incredibly high level of production. When I find content like that, it inspires me to improve my own workflow, my own production quality, and just raise my standards overall. And in that vein, a very commonly overlooked and misunderstood aspect of, making video content specifically is lighting. And for obvious reasons. I mean, who cares, right? Well, honestly, you should. An equivalent comparison to the audio world, for instance, would be like microphone placement. To the average person, they might say, who cares? Turn the mic on and you're good, right? Sounds silly, but that's what a video or lighting person would think if I say, I don't know, turn the lights on and we're good, right? Well, first let me say I am no lighting or video expert, so let's just get that out of the way. But today I wanted to personally show you how I have solved this lighting issue in my studio so that I don't have any setup time to get the lighting right to do video content. Because now you can just walk right into my studio, and with the press of the like button for the YouTube algorithm, you can have a full-time lighting solution for your studio by just watching this video to the very end. But first, coffee. So this is my home studio. Most of you are familiar with it. This is where I do all of my career mixing, drumming, engineering, producing stuff, but I also make these YouTube videos in here. So there's a lot of stuff. Most importantly for the videos, along with the camera and equipment, is the lighting. So these 2 light boxes I got off of Amazon, I believe it was 2 of them for about $80. Kind of a steal considering, you get 2 stands, you get 2 light boxes, 2 lights, a little switch, and they're not that durable, but they work well enough. My issue is, since I'm in this tight room, I want as few things on the ground as possible. So I want to nix these stands. So my thinking is mount them to the ceiling, and I never have to worry about trying to squeeze the stand feet between the desk or in little corners. So I got this stuff. It's called Unistrut. I bought one 10-foot stick of it. I cut it into 3 pieces, 2 3-foot pieces, 1 4-foot piece. And then I spray painted it white because my ceiling's white and I don't want to see it stick out like a sore thumb. A Thor thumb, that's great. And these are the other pieces I bought. So I got these angle braces. You've seen me use these on several other projects. These are called spring nuts. I'll show you what these do here in a second. Crucial part of the whole mounting system. And then next, what I have are some screws. You can use these. These are wood screws if you're going into studs. Useful. You're going to need some washers to help mount the strut to the studs in the ceiling. And then you're also going to need these. These are called straps, I believe. The Unistrut straps. So I will show you how these mount, but essentially these will go on the angle braces to hold the light stand to the Unistrut. So this actually has a tightening component and then it locks to the angle brace. So here's how it works. The spring nut has a spring that you actually push up into the unistrut. It comes with this plastic stuff. You have to take it off. And then it has a threading on it, a threaded hole, so you can mount something to the threaded part. So I could take the angle brace here, and I could theoretically mount the angle brace to 2 of these spring nuts, which will go inside the unistrut. And then on the other end, once the angle brace is mounted, I can take this conduit strap, again, I believe that's what it's called, and mount 2 of them to the angle brace, like so. So theoretically, I mount 1 to the bottom, and then 1 again to the top. And if by using 2, it's got a sturdier grip so that your light stand is not going to move around as much. It's going to be as sturdy as it can be. Again, these are cheap light stands, it's not too heavy. But the stand slides right into the middle of the strap there, and then you can tighten it on, and by using 2, you get a much firmer hold on your light stand on the unistrut. All of these pieces have 1/4 inch threading for 1/4 inch screws, which kind of works with this whole system. So here's the unistrut. It's painted, all of its glory, looks beautiful. Take my spring nut here, and this is kind of how it works. You're gonna push the spring down inside of here, and it does help, like right from the get-go, if you can kind of figure out what part of the strut you want your light to be mounted. Try to get it in the ballpark first. All right, so I'm gonna push this spring nut down into the unistrut strap like this, and then you're gonna just turn it so that it grips onto the sidebars of the unistrut, and it has this rough edge on both sides that helps grip it. And if you didn't notice, I'm not measuring, I'm just sort of ballparking where I'm placing these, because you can kind of move them around a little bit. You have some flexibility, but they do a great job of, once the spring is stretched, of gripping onto the unistrut. So now you can see I have my 2 places to mount my angle brace. So I can take my angle brace and I can make sure that the holes line up, and take my 1/4 inch screws here, and I can just test by putting in my bolts and getting them finger tight that this is gonna work. Make sure that your holes line up. That does help to get that right. And then, as you can imagine, we take our conduit straps here, and you're gonna line up the hole with the bolt. Take your nut, put it through. This is a little tricky, and then I just finger tighten that as well. This is a little bit of a demonstration just to make sure that the pieces, this whole project was pretty much winged. So I'm just putting this together for you, but also for me, so I understand what I'm doing and if it's gonna work. As you can see here, there is a space for the light stand to go right inside the conduit strap. And then once it is inside the strap, you can tighten the bolt. It will grip your stand nicely. That way you don't have too much movement. Now, in order to mount the unistrut to the ceiling, I'm going to use a pack of screws and anchors. I'm not totally sure if I'm going to be able to find a stud, so I'm going to use anchors in the drywall. This is the spot that I'm going to put the light on the middle of the room, which has a space between these 2 base traps. So I'm going to first drill out the holes for the unistrut. I'm going to put in the anchors, and then I'm going to drill the unistrut to the ceiling. Now, this is the piece that already has the angle brace in it. Next, I just put the conduit straps connected to the angle brace, which is where I will connect the light stand that was on the floor. Went ahead and took the light stand apart, and I'm just going to use the part that actually holds the light box. Get my shop vac, do some cleanup. Make sure you clean up all the drywall dust. You don't want to leave any mess behind. And then after that, I'm going to take my light box, and I am going to attempt to slide it up the stand and get it mounted. And then I can now adjust the height of the light box as well as the angle it is directed. And as you can see, it just has the power switch that I can plug into my outlet, flip it on and off without having to stand on the floor. It is now connected to the ceiling. I can now adjust the placement of the light box, the angle, the height, without having the stand on the floor, which to me is monumental, seemingly a very small improvement. But for me, this is a pretty tight room, so any extra floor space for people to sit or to not have things on the floor is very high value for me. So even though this may seem like a minimal improvement overall for a studio, it's a combination of a lot of little things that make something really great. Hopefully this brings a little bit of value to you. In my opinion, it seems that things are moving much more towards a independent work from home direction. Having home studios and the ability to do stuff on your own, if you're anything like me, is going to benefit you very much in the coming future. So make sure to hit the like button if you have not already for the YouTube algorithm. Jump on over to ANDREWMASTERSmusic.com. I have improved some of the consulting stuff, so if you want to jump on a Zoom call with me, you have any questions, you can book me at ANDREWMASTERSmusic.com. You can also book me for mixing projects or session drumming. Been a lot busier lately with the engineering, producing stuff, so the YouTube videos a little bit on delay, but they're gonna be coming. Make sure to drop a comment below if you have any questions at all. I respond to almost all of them, and I appreciate the engagement very much. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.